Pappas is returning as our fabulous guest for season 2 of Undeniably You. With her radiant personality and unwavering dedication, she has become a true inspiration to countless women seeking healthier and more active lifestyles. Elena is also relishing in the joys of motherhood, welcoming a beautiful little boy into her world. Her infectious enthusiasm and zest for life makes her a perfect embodiment of balancing work, wellness, and the wonders of being a new mom. Join us as we delve into Elena's remarkable journey, uncover her secrets to success, and tap into her boundless energy. Get ready for an electrifying episode packed with laughter, insight, and a sprinkle of pure joy. Elena.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome back to Undeniably You.
I'm honored. I'm so honored to be back.
I know, it's so special for me because you kickstarted me into my first season, my first episode. Do you know how nervous I was?
I do remember.
I mean, Gio, who is behind the scenes now, he literally knew my nerves that day. And I walked in. Do you remember?
I remember
in,
we were speaking about it. I was like trying to
calm me down, but you also inspired me.
And we just met. That's actually
the first time we met. Yeah, and we just clicked. And we also had our full episode while we were getting our hair, when I was getting my hair and makeup done.
Yes, we spoke so much.
The whole episode, and then we had to try and reenact that, which you did a great job of.
And I inspired you. Tell me more.
You did, yeah. So basically, you were like, you got this. You gave me so much encouragement. You were like, I'm so excited to be your first guest. And also, it inspires you when someone comes in and believes in what you're about to do. And I think like you showing up for me and believing in what I was about to do, and you were interested. You like asking me questions, and then you said to me, just keep going, like just keep doing it and you're going to learn. And I've learned so much from season 1.
And you can see, and I think what made me realize that you were going to do so well was the fact that you were nervous, because I could see that you were so passionate about it and you really wanted it to be like your baby. And that showed me like this girl, she's going to do so well. Because if you kind of didn't care and you were just like, well, I'm just doing this podcast, then what's the point?
If there was no passion behind it.
Exactly. It was like you were nervous, you knew what you wanted to achieve. And look how, so we're sitting here at season 2.
I know. And it's literally, do you know, it's been a year. Like we did that in December last year. Like what time? Not a year. We're in July.
6 months. Just an extra 6 months.
Time's flying.
I know, it really is. Was that December?
It was in December.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sure.
And your little boy's already a year on Monday.
Yes, because I remember the last time we spoke, he was like 5-6 months.
5 months,
so he's turning 1 on Monday. We ordered him a little cake, and I just can't believe he's 1. He's almost walking. It's just the most overwhelming thing that went so fast, if that makes sense.
Yes, yeah. They always said, like parents always say your kids grow up so quickly, but like I think as a mother you really...
I promise you, it sounds so stupid, like they grow up so quickly. Although the first, like as you have them and you're in that whirlwind of like a newborn, you think it's never going to end, which is the ironic thing. You think that those first 6 weeks are never going to end, and it's just going so slowly and it's so hard.
Because you're not sleeping.
You're not sleeping. You don't know what you're doing. You're like, maybe you aren't, but I was trying to breastfeed and I was just like so shell shocked. And then after those first 6 weeks, or then the months just start rolling by, and now it's been a year and I can't believe it.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
And I love the content of Ethan. I'm like living for it. And he is so cute.
Thank you.
Guys, if you're not following Elena, like I'm living for Ethan's content. And also you, like what's interesting for me, we were kind of talking about it earlier. All my friends are married and having babies.
Yes.
But they're all in like the year, like 1 year. And so all the content I'm learning about is how to feed your baby solids, or like,
which is not a bad thing, but sorry, I know you're the one interviewing, but I wanted to ask you, does that put pressure on you? Does that make you feel like, shit, I need to find someone or not? Like, do you feel that you're okay where you are and you'll get there kind of thing?
I love that you're asking me this question.
I really want to know, because I do have some single friends, and I sometimes think to myself, like, should I be more sensitive towards that? How do you feel?
I love this question because, firstly, it was one of my talking points. But secondly, your content is great and you don't have to change it because you're being authentic in your world and that's what you're going through and what you're experiencing. But to answer your question, like I said, societal norms, parents, grandparents, coming from a traditional background, and also my own thing. Like when I was in my 20s, I'm going to be married by 30. I'm going to have 2 kids.
100%.
I'm going to have a house, and I'm going to have my car, and I'm going to have a husband, you know?
Yep.
And now I'm like, when I turned 30, I had a proper breakdown. That was 2 years ago. And I was like, I don't have a husband. Far from being pregnant. I like sharing a house with someone.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to like sit with that, I think, is what I did. I had to sit with that and really think about, but it's okay, because, you know, 30s are your new 40s, like they say.
Totally.
And but what has been hard for me is actually finding a right partner, because we live in a world where it's just so, there's Instagram, there's all these social media apps, you know, everything's so instant, and people can pick and choose whoever they want to be with. And
So
I
true.
feel like there's also this idea of men who are wealthier, and this, like, you know, this dynamic between
Totally.
like this false perceptions of what a relationship could be like, and
Or what women look like, and like trying to,
yeah.
you know, having said that, like everyone kind of looks the same on Instagram these days,
100%.
like, you know, and you often put that pressure on yourself, like, am I living up to that standard? Am I doing enough? Should I be? But that's not really how it is.
it isn't, and it's a false perception. But then I think it confuses men and women, and like when
Totally.
you start speaking to someone, there's these unknown expectations of like what the relationship needs to be or whatever. So I find dating so difficult.
Really?
I think it's, I mean, and then so think about a dating app. You're scrolling based on somebody's appearance.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are on these apps for affirmations, for like
Totally.
this, like, I'm being liked.
Am I enough? And it's so interesting we're having this conversation, because I'm going to be straight up. I can't relate, because I have been with my husband for 12, 13 years. So I started dating him when I was 19. So I can't say that like I know that the dating world is challenging, but being from that outside perspective and seeing like my friends or what you're saying now, I can imagine it being so difficult. And it is. It's like to find someone these days that's genuine and authentic and there for the right reasons. It's challenging, you know?
Super challenging, especially at this age. I feel like when you get older, it's even harder. And
Yeah.
I didn't realize to what extent. But what are you looking at?
I didn't want to interrupt. There's a spring that just came out of your chair.
Guys,
What the hell?
I was trying not
I
to
put on too much weight. It's all the grapes I've been eating.
So it's not the mic, at least.
5 minutes later.
Would you have changed anything?
I mean, definitely.
Oh my God.
It's
Gone. The universe just doesn't want us to chat to each other.
We will find the universe.
Going back to you being 19, would you have made any different decisions? Or is that like what you...
Was I meant to stop because of the car? You tell me about your previous guest who stopped because of the car.
We move as chat says.
Okay. Take two.
It was going great.
I was like, "Argh."
5 minutes later.
Take the action.
Okay, go.
Would you have, like, you know, we're talking about relationships, and what attracted you to your husband? And, like, would you say you would have changed anything back at 19?
I definitely wouldn't change anything, but it's quite a crazy story because he was technically not the type of person that I thought I was going to date at all. We were always friends. We, were part of the same social group of friends. I actually knew of him through MySpace. I don't know if you remember MySpace.
Oh my God, early dating app vibes, social media.
We knew of each other, but he had a girlfriend. I had another boyfriend at the time. I always thought he was really good looking, but I was just like, he's one of those like player kind of guys. Like he's just, and then we just like it aligned that we were both single at the time, and we ended up, I can't remember, we like hooked up or something. We were all away for a weekend, and yeah, the rest was kind of history. And I wouldn't change it for the world. I mean, I feel like a huge part of my growth, and that's why I asked also about the pressure for you, because I feel like I kind of grew up with him. I don't know life without him. I don't know where I would be, what I would be doing. And I feel like a big factor in it is or in fact in choosing your partner, because that's another thing we were talking about, is finding someone that really balances you. And 100%. I find that he's such a good balance. Like looking at previous relationships, it's just, I'm quite a calm person. I don't really get angry. I don't get into heated arguments. And he doesn't challenge that, I could never date someone who, just challenges me too much and revs me up, because I am quite a calm person and I needed to find that right balance. So obviously we argue. Everyone argues, but
that's normal in any relationship.
Completely, but we were never the type that had these like heated arguments and then we broke up and we took breaks. We always kind of like resolved things.
There wasn't a toxic, like...
Never toxic. That's exactly the perfect way to put it. It was never a toxic relationship where we were bad for each other but so in love. We were good for each other and we were in love.
And I guess the communication grows over the years and you'll be able to like learn what each other's triggers are, and then you kind of like, okay, let's communicate through these
exactly
issues.
And like there's so many things about me that are maybe so difficult, and I can be super stubborn, and like if we're in an argument, I'm the kind of person that will sulk and I'll be like, I just don't want to talk about it, and he's a resolver. And I feel like if you have two people who are sulking or two people who are resolving, you might butt heads. So you need to find that perfect balance, and it is hard to find that today. So I don't know where I would be today.
Do you think he's your soulmate? If you believe in soulmates, do you believe in soulmates?
I definitely do believe in soulmates. I definitely think he is my soulmate. But having said that, I do believe that a person can have multiple soulmates in different ways, like you can have a friendship where that a person can be your soulmate. You can have a relationship in your life where someone can be, I don't know if you know what a twin flame is, kind of similar to, and I feel like there's different relationships that will test you and come into your life, whether it's for a season or whatever it is. But I think that you can have more than one soulmate.
I agree with you. I think I remember reading the other day, people coming into your life as like a lesson, a blessing, a mirror. And you have to learn from that. And someone that is quite challenging that's in your life, the same kind of person will keep appearing in a different form until you learn your lesson.
Yes.
And we all have these life journeys, and I think... For me, and back to the question, what we were talking about, I think also finding this person that you're meant to be with, if you're not learning the lessons, you're going to keep attracting the same kind of energy.
Definitely.
But you have to be aware of it. And I think that's probably the journey I'm on. And maybe other girls that are single are learning that too, despite the fact that it is hard to find people that are... Because I'll tell you a bit of my dating stuff. It's like... Either someone is like older, so that's like cool, you're like yay, but then they're not ready for a relationship, and you're like 35, 36, 37, but like they're not serious, and then you kind of like, I'm not going to waste my time with someone that doesn't want to have a family, so your priorities are not the same. Or then you'll meet someone that is interested, but then you're not attracted to them. So it's like,
That's the struggle.
I was watching, what is it? Indian matchmaking on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen that.
No.
And it's really opened my mind. I mean, I didn't think I would have like enjoyed the show, but disclaimer, I totally
one of those binge-worthy series.
Yeah, I think you should watch an episode. It's really funny.
I will, send it to me.
And basically what I learned is that everyone has a list of like what they want in a partner, but she was saying that in modern day, we're very picky on these lists. Like, we want this and this, but it's like this form of a person that is in our heads.
100%. I think that also goes back to what I was saying. I think so many people are in search of this soulmate that we have this perfect idea of, based on like movies or whatever growing up. But I think that, if I was born in America and I lived in flippin' Philadelphia, I would not have met Stephen, but I would probably be with another person who would make me happy and I wouldn't know otherwise. And same goes for you. If you lived in, Italy, I think there's multiple people that can be right for you or that can be your soulmates. But if you're lucky to find someone that you can work through life with, I think that person can become your soulmate as well.
Totally. And I think also things are changing these days, like the notion of... is marriage even a thing?
I know.
And are we good? Is marriage a thing? And like, is it a social norm? Can you have multiple partners? Like, things are so drastically changing. It's so like, how would a child grow up in that? And 100%. I think where we at now, it's quite a confusing time. until you choose your lane, I guess.
100%. And that's why I feel like if you do find someone that is your soulmate, you know, however you want to look at it, and you know your personalities match and you lift each other up and you support each other, that should be your person, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'll keep you posted on the single lifestyles of
Please
a 30-year-old, 31.
I think if there's any matchmaking.
Oh gosh, here we go.
I do know some
Stay
single
tuned, guys.
Yeah, I do.
Amazing.
I do.
And also what I really am fascinated about now is, you know, you're in your 30s, I'm in my 30s, the dynamic of friendships.
Yes.
So, you know, I had my primary school best friends, and then high school, and then university. Yes. But like you said, there's those soul friends that stick by. Yeah. How do you navigate through your friendships, especially now that you're a mom? And
I think that once again, this goes to, I have friendships that I've had for the longest time, also since school days, and those are my core closest friends. Then I have friends who maybe came into my life a little bit later. One of them, who's still my best friend, we actually, you know, she ended up having a child earlier than I did, and I would say we drifted a little bit, but now that I've got a child as well, we're closer together. And it's the same thing. It goes through seasons. It's all the same thing. And she was never in my life for a season. She's going to be there forever. But it's seasonal depending on what you're going through. So this has been a hard transition for me when I was not, before I was pregnant, obviously, and I was more going out on the scene. I had friends that were obviously incredible and conducive for that. But when I did become a mom, it definitely did change, and that was very, very hard for me. There were most of my friends, my closest friends, did stick around, but there was a lot of friends that I lost, and I get it. They purely just don't understand.
Life changes and things happen.
Exactly, and I'm not there to go out for drinks on a Thursday and a Friday and a Saturday anymore. You know, it's just unfortunately the way things are, and it's weird because I know that I was that person when some of my friends had babies. I never understood. And it was hard for me to understand that they weren't available all the time.
Also, you don't want to go for a bri or something and there's just a bunch of babies and you're the single aunt. That's the thing.
So that's why it's seasonal. I know that those friends that may have let me down now, if I know that they truly genuine friends, when they have kids, they'll come back.
Totally. And that's soul friends, right?
That's the soul friend.
For me, I can count on my fingers the people that I know are going to be my lifelong friends no matter what. My best friend lives in LA and we see each other every couple of months, or if I'm lucky, this year she got married in Cape Town, so I got to see her a couple of times. But when you see each other with those friends, it's nothing's changed.
Exactly.
You pick up exactly where you left off.
100%. And no matter what you go through, that person will be there. And, you know, even if you do things at different times or different stages of your life, you will find each other again.
I agree. So since we spoke in the last time, as we said, 5 months, I had a little bit of a health scare. And it was just so interesting because we had this conversation and then came up in my life. So they ended up finding water in my lungs, long story short.
My gosh.
I had a cyst on my ovary.
Okay.
So that's what all this started, and the cyst burst in my body.
Oh my word.
And then that was obviously painful, so they did a CT scan, but then they found water in my lungs, and then they did all these tests. They tested for everything. I was in hospital for 7 days.
I didn't even know about this.
Crazy. And then they wanted to test for endometriosis. And it was the first time I heard it when we spoke about endometriosis. I didn't know much about what endometriosis was. So, as you know from the last episode, I have a terrifying fear of belly buttons. And the only way, she said, to test for endometriosis was they put a needle through your belly button.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I feel like so many people are just misinformed because that's not
And that's
true.
what I want to talk to you about today. It's you've gone through this journey, so maybe you'll have more insights on it.
So many people don't know about endometriosis. So many people have endometriosis and don't know they have it. And it's actually really common. As far as I know, could be wrong, but I think it's 1 in every 10 women that actually have endo. And a lot of women have messaged me and said, how did you know you have it? Like, do I have to have a surgery to know I have it? And no, not at all. So one of the ways you can find out is via a laparoscopy, which is the surgery where they go through your belly button. Is that what you're talking about?
The laparoscopy.
Laparoscopy, yes. So, yes, but I mean...
I can't even say the word because it gets so...
But I feel like to go through a laparoscopy, if you might not have endo, is kind of hectic because it is an invasive. I mean, it's not invasive; it's keyhole surgery, but it's a big surgery.
But how else would you know?
You can also have an MRI. As far as I know, there might be newer techniques, but let me just go back to the start. It was so weird for me because talking about like periods and stuff like this on Instagram was just so, no one did it. It was
Especially
so weird for me.
Then,
yeah, it was like really embarrassing. And I remember there was one girl I followed who spoke about endo, and she had endo and she was talking about her symptoms really openly. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have that too. And I knew something was wrong, but no one knew about endo. So I kind of just left it. And when I started looking further into it, I just knew what I was going through wasn't normal. And I spoke to my gynae and he sent me for an MRI. So you can actually pick it up in an MRI.
I think that was one of the suggestions.
Yes,
but also
you can.
After my 7th day, I was just so exhausted. I did a colonoscopy. I was testing for so many things that at that point my body was just so weak that like to think about an MRI or the laparoscopy.
I mean, you should see how it goes. But an MRI luckily is completely non-invasive. So when you feel ready, it's definitely something to consider.
So you did an MRI. How old were you?
This was in 2019.
Okay.
So I did
pretty recent.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. But I mean, I'd been struggling with endo for years. And
what
I didn't know.
What were your symptoms?
Really painful, heavy periods, which I'd had for years. And then I started experiencing...
Sorry to cut you there, but without the IUD? Or did you have an IUD?
With and without. I just always struggled, always. And my mom also had painful periods. So I was like, okay, well, it's just a genetic thing. But then I started getting other symptoms. I would have like severe stomach pain, like really bad stomach pain all the time. I couldn't go to the bathroom. I was in so much pain. And anyway, to cut a long story short, turns out, like as a woman, you've got your uterus, you've got your 2 ovaries at the top. My 1 ovary had actually flipped. So it was downwards and it had kind of like attached to my bowel. So that's why everything is so connected. So you can have endo. So it was growing on my bowels. It can be growing on your kidneys, your liver, your bladder. I had stage 3, stage 4, which is one of the worst. So I was riddled with endo. And we picked up a little bit of it on the MRI. Went to the surgeon, and when he actually did the laparoscopy, he said it was much worse than what he thought. So you actually might not know how bad you have it. Thinking back now, just your whole lifestyle is affected. Your well-being. I would struggle when I worked out. I wouldn't know why I was so tired. I had painful ovulation as well. So a lot of women don't know when they're ovulating. I knew I was ovulating. I was in extreme pain. Often pain during intimacy, which is also a hard one to talk about, but I feel like it's something to mention because I feel like a lot of girls told me that when I did mention that, they were like, I also have that problem. What's wrong with me? It really shouldn't be that way. As women, like, it shouldn't be that way.
Be speaking about these things more openly.
It's an embarrassing thing, but like it shouldn't be like that. And I was like, why is this the case for me? And then I realized that this was the problem, because it was so bad for me. And as soon as I went for the laparoscopy, my whole life changed. It literally changed everything. And thank God I did, because if you leave endo, it can result in infertility. You can struggle to have kids. I could have, if I had left that ovary that had flipped, I don't really know what would have happened.
Yeah,
but it could have,
you wouldn't have been where you are today.
Yeah, I would have potentially had to have it removed. And then I would have had 1 ovary. And that all led to me speeding up the process of having children, which is how Ethan came about. I mean, I wasn't going to have kids as quickly as I did. And now it's just the best thing,
the best blessing.
And it's weird because someone asked me on Instagram the other day, how is your endo? And the weird thing is so pregnancy and breastfeeding supposedly keeps your endo away or keeps it from growing.
Okay.
I'm not obviously doing either of those now. And someone asked me how it's going. And I think that it actually is growing back a little bit. I have started developing a few symptoms again. I'm not on the pill, which if you are on the pill, it helps. I think it also restricts the growth, and there is other treatment you can go on. But I think it's just been so busy since having Ethan, I haven't.
Before Ethan, what treatments were you given?
I wasn't taking anything, but you can, if you're on the pill, I know that it restricts the growth. And you can also take something called Fizan.
Okay.
But I don't know the medical...
Obviously your doctor would need to give you that.
Your doctor would need to tell you. But I didn't want to go on the pill because I thought, well, now I've had the surgery. That the surgeon said, if you're going to have kids, like, this is the best time to do it because it can grow back.
Yeah. How many kids do you want?
I mean, I come from 3, so I'd love 2 or 3. 2 or 3, we'll see.
2 or 3, yeah,
two or
that's
3.
amazing. I want to.
You'd want to?
Twins
Okay.
once off, done.
That would
Then
be,
is
I mean, I
ideal.
feel like that would be amazing, but also very hectic.
Yeah, a handful. I mean, you have the experience of one,
I
so
cannot
you can
imagine,
tell me.
like 2 of Ethan would be amazing, but sure, it would be
Yeah.
hard work.
Just going back quickly, so just to be clear, the MRI is to test for it, and then the laparoscopy is to the actual...
Laparoscopy,
the-
yes. That's the keyhole
Can you
surgery.
teach me how to
they-
say this word?
Laparoscopy.
Laparoscopy.
There we go. So you can have 3 or 4 incisions, as far as I know. So I had 2 at the bottom, 1 through my belly button, and then 1 on the top left.
Was it painful?
Not at all. Afterwards, it's quite painful because they basically, once they're in there, the one that actually goes through your belly button pumps you with gas. So they like blow your tummy up so they can move around and see what they're doing. And that gas lingers in your body and like moves into your shoulder blades. Wow. And it's so sore. It's really, really sore.
Yeah, because it's a foreign thing in your body that needs to
it all needs to like, they need to get it out.
Yeah, shoulder pads.
I had such bad pain. My
Sorry,
husband was like helping me
this is
do.
not what I should laugh about, but it's just the analogy.
It's so painful. Like it takes 3-4 days for it to actually go away.
Yeah.
It is a painful surgery, but I mean, if anyone has endo and they're scared to do the surgery, don't be scared. It changed my life.
That's beautiful.
I would do it a million times over rather than being
not
afraid.
doing-
Yeah, I don't know why I was
So it's
afraid.
just if you have those symptoms, go get an MRI,
Yes.
check it out, see if because
Yes.
she did say to me, the gynecologist said it's one of the hardest things to detect.
Yes.
It's because you don't know, and like you said, it was attached to your
Exactly.
bowel. And so my pain was my lower left abdomen, and
Okay.
that's how it came about. But I mean, so many things were happening in my body that you just don't know at that point. So
Exactly.
I definitely will test for it.
And I
but-
mean, mine was kind of the giveaway was the stomach pain I had. But if it wasn't growing on your bowels and it was growing somewhere else, you would potentially have different symptoms.
And that's why it's so hard to detect
so
because you
hard.
might think there's something wrong with your bowel or with
Exactly.
your wherever else it's going.
And it can grow quite aggressively. So I think that if you think you've got it, definitely go get it checked out and talk about your symptoms. It's okay. Like a lot of girls are going through it.
That's so powerful, and it's so amazing that you get to share this now with everyone, and like go through the journey and inspire people. I mean, you're inspiring me to go and like get it checked out and
That's
sort it
what's
out.
the goal. If I can help one person, then I'm happy.
Yeah, it's so empowering.
Thank you.
So also what we spoke about a little bit the last time was being a new mom, and obviously things have changed because Ethan's 1 on Monday, as we mentioned. And how's that journey been for you? Like even just changing with your content that you're posting and your career, how is that impacting you?
I'm so glad you've asked this question because I often look at other influencers or, girls that are doing kind of the same thing I'm doing that do have kids, don't have kids. And so I'll see other, influencers or people in similar fields to me and what they're creating on Instagram. And sometimes it is very not intimidating, but I'll feel like I should be doing more. And this is where social media can be so dangerous because my content has definitely changed a little bit. I'd say 90% of my content is body. But I do like to share my personal life. I do like to share Ethan. So it's not only body. It's not only focused on the fitness, which I know I'd love to have these professional videos and reels, and I'd love to take things up a notch, but it is just real. And it is just me sharing Ethan, and he's in a lot of my reels and a lot of my content. And I've probably lost a lot of followers because of that. And my content probably could be stronger and it could be more focused and I could be doing so much more with body. And I think about this often, and it's a tough one because I don't want to take away from this time when he's so little. It's going to go so quick.
Yeah, and also I think you're still being super authentic to yourself. And I think a reminder is that when you started Body, as you mentioned, like the first episode, you spoke about it was something that came to you. You remember you were like doing workouts in your kitchen, and right now you have Ethan and you're being true to that. And we spoke a bit about this last time. So I think even for people listening or watching that are thinking the same thoughts, by just being present in each moment, you're doing your best.
Yes.
And you're being authentic to that. And whether you lose followers or gain followers, it's just a social realm.
True.
But you are being true to yourself, and nothing is... I mean, Instagram might die out in a couple of years.
Exactly.
Who knows? But what's the memories that are going to last are the ones with you and your little boy, you know.
And the weird thing is when I take it back to Body, which is, you know, my other baby, my main members or the people that have been with me, you know, a lot of members started Body when I started Body, and they're still members. They love it so much. They've been so loyal through
Your
everything.
community.
They've been so loyal, and Body's still growing all the time. And I think to myself, you know, imagine I was putting so much more into Body and growing it to so much more that I know it could be. And then Ethan turned 3, and I'm like, I missed so much of it just trying to grow a business, which is, both of them are important. But I am struggling to find a balance, but I'm trying to be present for both and be there for the growth of both, the growth of my child and the growth of my business.
That's beautiful, because self-awareness is everything. So just allowing yourself to be aware of what's happening.
100%.
And you never know, this could inspire you to create your next thing or venture that you're going to be going into. And I think it's also important to say that you are struggling with that, you know, like people think that it's all perfect and amazing and you have this career and, you know, but they don't really know the true, like, struggle.
True. It's so true. And and the problem comes in, like I said earlier, with comparison. And I think so many people are guilty of it. And if you're not, I think it's amazing. But I do compare myself to other people. And, you know, I'll sit and think, how are you able to post this much every day? How are you managing to get all this work done? You know, and I do have help with Ethan. I have, not every day, but I do have help. So I'm very lucky to have help. But even so, it's still hard. You know, I just managed to get like a workout done and reply to the emails. Doing anything additional to that, I would need more help, which you can't do right now. Then I'm not even going to be with Ethan.
Yeah.
So it's that balance.
It's so interesting that we're talking about this, because just last night, and I was making notes because there were so many things I wanted to tell you, obviously. But the one thing was, I was searching through other podcasters that I follow and that I love and that, you know, I was just going through so much, and I felt this like sadness afterwards, because I was like, I am definitely not good enough. Like, my content is not good enough. Like, I am not this person that is like, and my friend said to me, like, you don't have this massive team. I have an amazing team, Danilo and Gio. But beyond that, I don't have, like, you know, they have script writers, they have a full production for the ones that I'm like look up to, and they're doing amazing, and I love their content. But at the same time, it's like just giving yourself, okay, cool, I just started. You
just started. Like, even if sitting here on season 1 and 2, I mean, look at the difference. We were in a studio the last time, which was really cool, but now we're in this like beautiful house in Camps Bay.
Yeah.
Look how far you've come. And I think sometimes it is just giving yourself a little bit of credit for both of us. But comparison is always going to be there.
It's always going to be there, and it's about learning how to navigate through that and allowing yourself to step back and say, I'm still learning. So that's what came out of it last night, was I wrote this down for you. I was like, it's something I want to talk about because I am still learning and I need to be kinder to myself.
Definitely.
For being in that process.
Definitely.
And the one thing that changed me, and maybe this will help other people, Gio, gonna give him a shout out again because it's also his birthday weekend.
Yay!
But he said to me when I started season 2, and he was like, Saf, people are showing up, like people are here for you, and I think that's powerful. Same with you and Buddy, like people are showing up to the classes.
That's so true. And also people are listening. People are listening to your podcast. You know, there'll be some that are listened to more. There'll be some workouts that people will love more than others. Definitely. I've noticed that. I've noticed the trends. I know what people like. You going through all of that, you're going to notice. But people are listening. People are engaging with your content. I'm back. If I thought the first one was shitty, I would have made an excuse. I promise you.
Bye.
I'm back here and I'm here for it. Like, you are so easy to chat to. You're good at what you do.
Thank you. And I love that this is the finale. And the reason I kept this as the finale is because I want to test this and trial this and see if it works for season 3, because this is enjoyable for me. Like, just getting to chat and talk about things. And
so does that mean I'll be back for season 3?
You're gonna be on every season. You might even co-host.
Please vote for me. It's your favorite
say that
guest.
again. Please vote for Elena Pappas.
Dial 1035.
Call now. So part of this episode, we wanted to be playful, and so we have decided to play a game. Okay. Many of you know it. Would you rather?
Don't we need sunnies though?
Yes.
We need sunnies.
100%.
Where are they?
Okay, so I don't know. These we'll see how we do.
Okay.
So
Should I be nervous?
crickets. This is funny. Would you rather have bad breath or smelly feet?
For how, like a day or forever?
For your lifetime.
Smelly feet. Smelly feet. Like, I don't want to be like talking to people. My first son's going to be like, hell no, mom. My husband.
Yeah, you can't
smelly
kiss
feet.
someone.
Because I can like
That's
put
true.
socks on and stuff. Right? You can't help me. Yeah.
I can't help you. I mean, it's interesting, but like you're gonna be smelling both ways. Like,
yeah,
you're
but I
s-
think
you're gonna be
feet, like,
it's doable.
I can go to the beach, keep my feet in the water a lot.
Yeah.
And you?
Same. I
Okay.
would like bad breath is it's a hectic one.
It's a hectic one. And yeah.
I can't. Okay. Let's see what we have here. This is a good one. Would you rather sneeze every time you said hi or have the urge to pee every time someone asks you a question? Sorry, I'm going to say the N bit again.
Okay, what? So sneeze every time I say hi.
So every time you say, would you rather sneeze every time you say hi?
Yeah.
Or have the urge to pee every time someone asks you a question?
I think
I'm laughing because this happened already.
I think I would, I always get technical with my answers, but probably say I'd rather sneeze every time I say hi.
Because you don't say hi that often.
Because I can change it. I can be like, ciao, and then I won't sneeze, right?
She's so smart, guys.
Or does this go for anything in the hello realm?
I think it's
I
a
mean, like,
weird
hola.
would you rather, because now you're opening my mind to it. But yeah. I
But
think
if everyone asks me a question and I need a wee, I'm screwed because I'm going to be asked a lot of questions. And I wee a lot.
But then you'll just sneeze every time someone hugs you or says hello to you. That's okay.
That's fine because I'll be like,
yeah, you'll
Make it
have it a delicate
no, mine are shocking loud, like very loud.
too.
But
Me
it's fine.
too.
It's like a nice release.
Yeah, but I'll only sneeze in front of people I'm comfortable with. Otherwise, I hold it in. Do you know those ones where you
I
like
can't do that. It just explodes.
it's not coming out your nose?
No, you know what I mean. Okay. Okay.
I mean, you can deal with me saying snot. You have a baby.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
Okay. Would you rather accidentally like an old photo of your ex on Instagram
Oh, God.
or accidentally send a naughty text to a relative?
This is so bad. Who's the relative? Like, is it a
Your
cool aunt or
parents.
is it like my dad?
Your parents?
How naughty is it?
Ooh,
I just want to know because the first one is like, why am I even on my ex's profile? That's like a terrible
Accidentally.
one. So I think B. But it wouldn't be that naughty, hey? It would just be like...
I mean, a naughty photo is a naughty
photo.
text.
It's-
Sorry, a naughty text is a naughty. I mean, you could get around it, right? Like if you sent a naughty text.
I could be like, sorry, Saf was using my phone.
Because I'm such a naughty texter, guys.
You know what I mean? But I feel like liking your ex's picture, it's your profile.
It's quite
just
hectic,
obvious.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, would you rather have to hunt for everything you eat or only eat McDonald's for every meal?
Hunt, because I don't eat meat, so I'll just like pick leaves and shit.
I mean, that's not hunting, that's
I mean,
grazing, but yes.
I'll just graze. I don't want to eat McDonald's or eat animals, so I'll just...
That's true.
I'd go live in Greece and like start my own vegetable garden.
Oh, that sounds like a dream.
Yeah, like grow my own tomatoes. I know it's not hunting, but it's essentially living off the land, right?
That's true. Okay, I think I would do the
I could
same.
fish. Can I fish? I'm a pescatarian. That's hunting.
Yeah, that's hunting.
And I would do like single sustainable fishing. So just with my fishing rod, I wouldn't be
yeah.
like fishing in bulk.
Can you teach me how to do that?
Yes, I grew up, my family, like we love fishing.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know. I have a thing for fish smell. Like I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, and blood. Like the minute I see blood, I can't. Just can't.
Okay, you're
Eat
just
the
going to have
meal.
to do option B and have McDonald's.
No, I think I wouldn't choose McDonald's, and I'm going to steal your answer.
Okay.
I'm going to graze.
Okay.
I'm going to go
Grazing's
pick
good.
blueberries and hope that it's not a poisonous
That's
one.
fine. At least we're not harming animals.
This is true.
Okay.
Okay. Would you rather have a driver to take you everywhere or a private chef to make all your meals?
A private chef. Because once again, going to being a pescatarian can get quite limiting at times, and especially with a baby. I
Yeah.
don't cook, and I'm not as creative as I used to be. I used to make like the most amazing like sweet potato with like chickpeas and spinach and tahini, and I don't have time for that now. So I'd love to have someone like cook me amazing like pescatarian.
When did you become a pescatarian? When did you stop eating meat?
Cheese like 6 years ago.
Has it changed your life?
Yes.
In what way?
So much more energy. My skin was better. I just love it. I to be honest, I was never the biggest
Meat
meat
eater.
fan. I do still eat fish because I do want to get that extra protein. I mean, you don't necessarily have to, but I do. I love sushi. And it's the weird thing is I don't miss it. I don't
We
miss
should
chicken.
go for sushi together.
Yeah, we should.
Listen. I love these glasses.
That's the answer. If I had the chef, he would make us sushi.
Oh, cool.
I like driving. I'm happy to drive myself around.
Okay, so you drive me, and then we have a private chef at your house. Perfect.
Done.
Would you rather go back in time to meet your ancestors or go into the future and meet your great-grandchildren?
Future. You?
Future. I
Future's
don't know.
cool.
The past is like the past. Let's leave
And
the
we
past
know,
in the past.
we know. I want to see you in the future. What's going to happen and what things will look like.
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Wow. I would.
I'll tell you mine so you can't
Okay, what's
steal
yours?
it. So I kind of like, it comes from teleportation, but hi.
Are you waving at us? Okay.
It comes from teleportation, but this idea, I stole it from someone else, disclaimer. But the ability to look at something and then to have it in reality. So, you know, when you
Wow.
see like a nice jacket that you really want, and then you look at it, and the next thing it like just pops
that's
up next
cool.
to you.
That would be
or
amazing.
like this beautiful AI house on the mountains.
That's
that
a
you
good
look
one.
at, and then it just manifests into a real life
That's
thing.
a very cool one.
That would be my superpower.
That would be good. Mine would be, it sounds so lame and cliche, but like I've always wanted to fly. I wish I could fly. Like I just want to that. And then also, you know, Matilda, the movie Matilda,
Yes.
to just be like bring a glass of water to me. Or like,
That's cool.
be able
That's
to
the
move
lazy
stuff.
part of you that's coming out.
yeah, exactly. Like just change.
Water, come.
Yeah.
I
like
love that.
That kind of
And we will do one more.
And then I want to ask you one or two.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Would you rather have spaghetti for hair? I don't know if I like this one, but we're going to do it. Two more then.
Okay.
Would you rather have spaghetti for hair or sweat mayonnaise?
Spaghetti for hair is pretty cool.
But then it's like cooked spaghetti for hair.
But it'll be al dente. It'll be like, it'll be a little bit hard still.
And then what if someone eats it? What if Ethan's
Well, sweet man. What's the other one?
sweat mayonnaise?
No.
That's disgusting.
No, that's a shocker. Definitely
It
spaghetti
is-
hair.
I agree. That is a shocker. Okay. Would you rather? Okay, I know what your answer's gonna be. Yeah.
Okay.
So, would you rather live forever with an eyelash in your eye or spinach in your teeth? Spinach in your teeth.
Definitely. I hate something in my eye. There's
Yeah,
nothing
it's
worse.
itchy.
There's
It's like-
nothing
I
worse.
know.
Spinach in my teeth is fine.
I can imagine that. Can we just put a piece of spinach
That's,
in
that's
there?
fine. Okay, for you.
Okay.
Okay, let me think. There was two I saw on Instagram the other day. The one was, would you rather listen? Okay, so you have one song on repeat in your head for the rest of your life. It's like the only music you will ever hear, and it's one song.
Sad. Yeah.
Or never hear music again. And the song that you're going to hear on repeat is like, Up Na Gangnam Style.
Oh wow, that's a good one.
Or no music ever again. Gangnam Style is like,
No, if it's Gangnam Style and not like a classical like I don't know,
no music.
no music.
Okay.
It's a hard one.
It is a hard one. Hey, okay, so then maybe I won't choose the song. It would be a song of your choice.
If it is a song of my choice and it's like a really beautiful song,
Sure, but after like 2 years,
Yeah.
you don't think.
I'll know every lyric to the song, probably learn every like nuance. I think I'd still go, but it's sad to not ever hear music again.
So sad.
Right?
I know,
Music
that's-
is everything to me.
I know, it's a hard one.
You chose well. Well done.
I have another one.
Yeah.
Would you rather be 10 years old again with all the knowledge you have now, but not a cent to your name? but you know everything you know now and you're 10. Or you're 60,
Okay.
with $50 million in your bank account.
Obviously 10.
So you'd start your whole life again.
I would start my whole life again. And you know what's funny? It's so weird. We are so synchronizing today, but I literally was driving the other day and I was like, what? Imagine me in my 20s, so I didn't go as far back as 10, but knowing exactly what I know now in my 20s, this joy came over me because it was like I would have done so much.
Yeah, but 20s is like 10. You're like a 10. You just have you have to still go through hormones, heartbreak, like people teasing you.
What would you do?
I mean, I'd probably do the same because I wouldn't want to wish my life away. But like, I didn't really enjoy school. I hated school. I hated school.
Why are we so similar?
I hated school. I didn't enjoy it. I don't want to go through that again. So I think that's a really hard one.
That is a hard one. Would you rather be a high school teacher or a clown? I know the answer.
What? A high school teacher, definitely.
High school teacher over a clown?
Oh, I don't want to be a clown. I want to be a high school teacher and teach hot boys maths.
The secrets are coming out, guys.
Kidding. Don't tell my husband. He's definitely going to watch this.
He's definitely going to watch this. Should we give him a quick shout out?
Yeah, let's do it.
You go.
Oh, I thought we were going to phone him. Love you,
we
love you,
should
Snooki.
call him.
No, shame, he's with Ethan. He'll be like, what?
I don't have his number.
I'll send it to you. Would you rather be a clown? Wait, can we go back there?
Yeah, I would rather be a clown because,
Why?
like we said, I hated school. So why would I sit in a classroom trying to teach people the things I did not want to sit in a classroom for?
I just didn't. It's not even the learning that I didn't like. I just didn't like my peers. I had like a lot of
Bullying.
bitchiness and and I'd probably just teach a cool subject though. Maybe like PE.
I hated PE, but art.
Art, yeah.
If you were my art teacher, that would be cool.
Would you rather be I'm making this up on the spot.
Yes,
a
go
really
for it.
good maths teacher, like really, really good, or be
A mad scientist.
or be a phenomenal artist?
Phenomenal artist.
Okay.
I love art. I think art's my thing for sure.
Yeah, I think I'd do the same. Although I'd love to be good at maths just because I sucked at it. So I'd love to know what it's like to look at numbers and just solve them.
8 + 5.
What? 13. Is it right?
You counted on your fingers.
I don't even think my answer's right though. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13, yeah. Okay, 7 times 3. 21.
21.
I love the timetables.
9 + 5.
No, don't plus. Please do times. No plus. I can't do. You can do times tables up to 12.
Do you know the funniest thing for Miss South Africa? I'm so glad this video is not on the internet. They were like interviewing us, but back then it wasn't like luckily my year didn't have video cameras, so that they weren't following us around or anything like that. But I was so nervous because this was the first time in front of a camera, blah, blah, blah. And she asked me to spell a word for their little Facebook page or whatever.
Shame.
I couldn't.
Because what was the word? That's what
I also can't remember the word because I was just like, I was shocked. And I was like, this is so embarrassing.
Can you spell spaghetti?
SPAGETTI.
No, you've got the H.
Oh, Lord. Oh, wait, it says, Lil Wayne says, move in silence like lasagna.
Yeah, bolognese is also a hard one to. I'm Italian though, so I do like it. It's a little bit unfair that I'm asking
one.
you this.
Okay, one last one, and
Yes.
Would you rather always have to hop on one foot or always have to squat?
Oh, squat. Can you imagine how my glutes would look? Squat.
Big butts in a can.
Squat.
True.
Although
okay.
you'd have nice calves if you were hopping.
I don't know if I want big calves.
Yeah, but like toned. But yeah.
Yeah.
Either way.
Nice. Okay. I want to do just one more, just for fun. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to go to our listeners' question. Listeners, like I'm
cool.
on radio. Would you rather your only mode of transportation... No, I asked you this earlier. I'm not going to ask it to you again. Would you rather listen to an annoying laugh for a whole day or get tickled all day?
I'd listen to an annoying laugh. I hate being tickled.
I also hate being tickled.
I hate being tickled, and I hate that I do that to Ethan to make him laugh because it's horrible. I tickle him because I just want to hear his laughter. And I'm like, I'm so evil right now. Because it's so cute. But he's probably like, I can know he hates it. He's hating it, but it's so cute.
It's so cute. We're going to insert a video of Ethan laughing.
It's so cute. But like, I used to hate when I had relatives that tried to tickle me or kissed my cheek. Right?
I don't know. My dad used to do this thing where we would lie down. Like we were just like hanging out, watching TV or whatever. And then he would start from the bottom and be like, "Khocha coming up." And then he would just like,
annoying?
Because it would build up the anticipation. And then when he starts tickling you, you're in stitches and you can't.
But it's agony, right?
It's agony.
I know.
It's agony. I'm so ticklish.
Me too. It's
so
horrible.
I'm going to tickle you.
You can like softly tickle me during the podcast.
No, I was going to tickle you so you could laugh. This one's for Ethan.
This one's for Ethan.
Okay, so we had some questions on Instagram because we asked some people to ask some questions. So I'm just going to go into it. So someone asked, what are 3 things that changed your life, like your daily routine, health, maintaining a balanced lifestyle?
So 3 things that changed my life?
Yes.
So you mean like not necessarily events, but like...
Yeah, like your daily routine, your health, like what...
So 3 things that changed my life. My surgery for endo, body, or just exercise in general, and 3 would be becoming a mom. So they're so cliche, but like those are 3 things that changed my life. And you?
That's amazing. I think for me, dealing with my anxiety, so like getting into yoga and meditating, because I've found a tool to not cripple me in my daily life. Squirrels. And then I think another thing that changed my life, it's actually a tough question.
It is.
I think definitely routine is something that is important. I think being able to, because it's hard, right? To be able to exercise, eat healthy, then have a business, then doing you then running around, and even with a child, it's even more. And I think that's always been one of my struggles, is finding that balance. And I think for a lot of people too. You asked me what changed my life.
It is a hard one.
It's so hard.
Undeniably You?
Undeniably You, for sure. Definitely. And also starting my new business.
Yeah.
So
there we go. That's 3.
When being on a boat in Greece changed my life, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, wow.
I took a couple of months last year to travel, and I went to see friends, and I was on their boat for like 2 weeks, and it's not as glamorous as it sounds, like it, and I was sitting on the boat, and I was just like, there's not a lot of, you're not connected to your phone, you're in nature, it's really beautiful. And I just thought to myself, this was last year, like June, July, exactly a year ago.
Wow.
And I thought to myself, why am I in a job where I wake up at like 6 a.m. and go to bed at 2 a.m. I'm working for someone else. I'm making them richer. And I started just asking myself every day, what would I do that would make me happy? And the conversations I was having with my therapist is sharing the authentic voice. So the one thing was, I got to start my podcast.
Wow.
And the second thing was I want to take over my mom's business, but I didn't know how that would all stitch together, play on words there. And I decided to speak to her about it, and we are creating an upcycled luxury fashion brand.
I mean, that's amazing.
And I've been to India. We got the clothes made. We're only doing 14 pieces for the first launch, and they're all exclusive. You'll never get that material again because all the fabrics have been upcycled. And one-of-a-kind pieces.
Amazing.
And I'm half Canadian. Well, I'm not Canadian. I never grew up in Canadian. But my mom's from Canada, and so I'm going to Canada, and that's where I'll do the first launch.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So that kind of
I'm proud
changed
of
my
you.
life.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
So yeah, a lot has changed for me in a year, and I also think it's turning 30. Like being in your 30s, you said earlier, you don't care so much about what people think.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't, like the things that I used to be so sensitive about or care about are just so irrelevant now.
Yeah, so we made a reel, a TikTok, which we failed at, but we'll still post it, and it's better pizza, better cars, better money.
No, so before pizza, you started.
Better ingredients,
Better pizza.
better bitches, better money, better clothes,
shoes.
better car. We're just doing better in our 30s. So yeah.
Thriving.
Okay. Thriving.
30, flirty, and thriving. Okay.
So back to the questions. I think what a lot of girls, I think where this question's coming from is a lot of girls want to know, people are scared to do their passions and to do what they love. And I think the question here is, like, what motivates you, inspires you, and pushes you to do those things?
Definitely being passionate about what you're doing. So like you said, when you were on that boat in Greece, when you said, what is going to make you happy? And I think that finding and it's so hard because, not everyone's going to be able to do what makes them happy. But just channeling something that makes you happy and waking up every day and being happy about it and being excited about it and wanting to do it, that's a huge thing. And I think even if you have to stick to your corporate job for a while, let's keep going. Even if you have to stick to your corporate job for a while, even if you're spending 3% of your day, just an hour a day, just investing into doing something you love or growing something you love, don't feel like it's something stupid or something too small. Just start, because it's going to evolve into something, especially if you keep pushing. If you keep doing a little bit every day, it will grow into something, especially if you're passionate about it.
Totally, I completely agree with you. And I think when you're stuck in that 9 to 5, you're so worried about when your next income is going to come. And you're also so tired. Like, I think people get so exhausted from sitting in front of a computer all day. And you don't have the time or energy to start pursuing something creative. So I think the combination of looking after your body, mind,
Your mental
and
health.
then just really sitting with that question of, like, what is it that I want? And then action. It's all in the action.
That's what I was going to say, and that leads me to a quote that I wanted to read to you, because, anyone can kind of start a fitness business, or, not anyone. You've got to know what you're doing. Anyone can become good at what they want to do, get the knowledge to do it, and start it. But, and I mean this in, like, a very humble way, but, like, I didn't just, wake up fit and, toned. It's such a hard journey, and it's something that you have to do every single day. And you have to, whatever your craft is, whether it's, being a fitness instructor or whatever it is, you have to work every single day. So I think a lot of people make excuses, and that's their biggest downfall. You need to just stop making excuses, stop taking away someone's credibility. So, for example, one of the things that I hate the most is when someone will say to me, you have the fastest metabolism. You have the best genetics. You're so lucky.
Because they're making an excuse.
No, I don't. Like, this is, and I actually want to read, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
read you
go
that
for
quote
it.
that I wanted to tell you, because this is so true. And this basically applies to, someone who works really hard at their fitness. Where is this quote? 1 second. Yeah, it says, a well-built physique is a status symbol that reflects your hard work. Money cannot buy it, nor can you inherit it. You cannot steal it, you cannot borrow it. You cannot hold on to it without constant work. It shows dedication, it shows discipline, it shows self-respect, it shows dignity. It shows patience, work ethic, and passion. Being fit is far from more than just looks. And it's so true. And it's something that so many people, you just bounced back after having Ethan. No, I didn't. I worked so flippin' hard. Like, I wish someone could have been a fly on the wall to see how well I was eating, how hard I was training, how much I struggled, how weak I felt, and how long it took me to build my strength. It's something that, like this, the quote says, you can't borrow, you can't buy, you can't just maintain. You have to work every single day. So when you find that passion and something you love enough, you have to be willing to do that. Even on the days you don't feel like it, or you feel like making an excuse, there is time. There's always time.
I cannot agree with that more, and I think that's super inspiring for a lot of people listening, because you kind of get out of your head and go, because your biggest competitor is yourself.
Totally.
Your biggest person to deal with is yourself every time you look into the mirror. So
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
Oh.
Thank you.
And then the second question is, how do you effectively reset or regain momentum during mentally challenging moments? And I think this question can also go, how do you reset or regain momentum after you lose, like you don't want to exercise and the excuses start coming up? So it could be...
That's so true. We all only human. And I'm kind of going through a little bit of that right now in terms of, I'm in a bit of a creative rut. So I'm struggling to create content. It's cold, it's winter. I'm struggling a little bit to train, but you've just got to, I know it's a phase. I know it's something that I've got to get through. I don't have something specific that I do. So to answer that question, I can't say that I go and I meditate every day. I mean, my only release would be working out every day, finding the time to do that. And that's really mostly what it is for me. And just sitting myself down, having a talk to myself, reminding myself why I'm here, where I started. And I think one of my biggest motivating factors is my members. I can't let all these people down just because I'm going through a creative rut. Like, they're relying on me for their workouts. You know, they showing up for me. I've got to show up for them.
I love that. And also, because we've come to the end, is there any questions you had for me? I think you asked the one about the
single.
business. Yes.
I do have a question for you. Where do you see this going? What is your ultimate goal for this podcast?
That's such a great question. So when I started, my intention was to step into my authentic voice, which is happening. I think it's to create a brand for myself, but to stay authentic to it. Also, I wrote this down last night, which is so interesting that you asking it. I have learned so much through this process. And I think I've learned, throughout my life, I did, school, university, and then I traveled for a bit, but then I went and did my postgrad. And what I've learned when in my postgrad is to be a sponge and to get information. And when we're living in this world that we are, where it's just Instagram and you're constantly scrolling, and what I find that this podcast has done, it's educating me.
Amazing.
It's giving me knowledge, and you have to keep learning constantly in order to evolve. You need to keep recreating yourself. And you can't always be sitting in a class or going to school, or, sometimes you're not enjoying YouTube videos. But for me, conversation is information and it's knowledge. And that you learn so much from people.
Totally.
And so I hope to continue just telling stories and inspiring people through those stories.
I think you will. I mean, I find your podcast incredibly inspiring. Just being here and being a guest, sometimes I find I'm actually inspiring myself. I'll go and be so motivated after this, and listening to some of the other guests you've had have motivated me. I've learned from them. So I think that you are doing exactly what you want to be doing.
That's such a great affirmation. And I hope I see it coming across, because people, even just listening to the quotes or listening back to it, I take inspiration from that myself, as you do. And it's changing my life. It really, really is.
I'm proud of you.
And on that note, I just wanted to also thank you. I know you're super busy, being a mom and coming out here, just chatting to me. This is our 6-month catch up, guys.
Literally.
And I'm always in awe of you, and this was such a fun episode to do with you again.
It was so fun. Thank you.
Just so everyone knows, Elena's back for season 3.
We're gonna have to think hard on what we're gonna do.
Oh no, we've got it.
We've got it. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'll do a workout.
We could do a workout. Yeah. And cook a meal.
Cook a meal.
Yeah. We'll keep you posted.
That we've hunted.
That we've gathered and hunted.
On our own, with a private chef.
That Elena's gone into the waters and taken a fish out.
Literally, with our stinky feet and all. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And on that note, I want to blow a kiss to the camera, and thank you so much.
Guys. Thank you so much.
This season, we are changing it up. We are shooting at the iconic Bingley Place and Villa Ravenstein. These amazing locations are managed by Mikasa Property Management. Mikasa Property Management is a luxury holiday rental management company based in Camps Bay, Cape Town. They give homeowners and landlords in Cape Town freedom by taking all aspects of management off their hands while maximizing their rental property income.